Mr. Rakshit Tandon, Consultant, Internet and Mobile Association of India. Mr. Rakshit Tandon commands great respect as an IAMAI consultant. An authority on digital security, he has shared his expertise across various international platforms. He is an advisor to the Cybercrime Unit of the UP Police and a faculty at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Police Academy. He conducts training programs on cybercrime investigation for police departments across India. He is presently executing Safe Surfing campaign, conducting workshops on the subject Cyber Threats to Children in the Digital World. Ladies and gentlemen, please accord a warm welcome to Mr. Rakshit Tandon.
Very good afternoon, all of you, and thank you so much for giving me this honor and inviting me at this platform. First of all, I really congratulate IMA for this wonderful event. Though I have been to many conferences all across and have been speaking a lot on this issue of cybercrime and cyber safety, but the first thing I'd like all of you to applaud is for this kind of event that's been managed and the kind of display I see. I've never seen it in the first time. I'm seeing it in all of the conferences I've been. It's been wonderfully done. Thank you so much. And thanks to Mr. Shamit, Rachna ma'am, Ritu, Grover ma'am, Chandan Ramani sir for giving me this opportunity to come here. I'll be really sounding out of the league with so many intellectual people talking about this management theme because I sound the most negative person of the industry when it comes down to technology because I've been working as advisor to Uttar Pradesh, Haryana Police, cybercrime. So half of my time is with crime and crime and crime, so cases and cases. But the best part of my experience is the 7 lakh children I've spoken to. This started in 2008 by the name Safe Surfing campaign. It was for schools and came down to colleges. And, okay. But the experience of talking to 7 lakh students has been wonderful and amazing because you guys are born and brought up in the digital world. Am I right? So you are the born netizens. We are the data migrants. So I still remember when I used to go after my girlfriend, I have to do 2,500 kilometers of cycling to do that and to write letters and give it to her. But you are born and brought up in the age of Facebook and WhatsApp, right? So just 2 smileys and your relationship changes. One smiley with that love heart and the second one with mua mua. So you take, so you only take 2 minutes to make a relationship work. और हम लोगों को 2,500 किलोमीटर साइकिल चलानी पड़ती थी. लेकिन एक अच्छी बात थी, हम लेटर्स लिखते थे और जब ब्रेकअप होता था वो फाड़ के दे देती थी. In your generation, the kind of cases I'm getting, that sir, I just had a breakup and this my ex-boyfriend is posting all my personal pictures and chats on the Facebook or WhatsApp. And I'm really defamed and I'm going out, I'm really harassed, something like that. So if you, this is the kind of feel I have and when I talk to these young children. Taking you to the statistics of the country, as you all know, India is a very small population country, 1.21 billion. 875 million people are having a mobile phone in my country, out of which 110 million internet users are active on phone. We need to improve this figure, it's improving. Why? Because running internet on a laptop was expensive. It's not everybody can afford it, and they can't be 24/7 online. 50,000 ka laptop, 2,000 ka internet, 500 rupees mahine ka connection. But thanks to mobile, 15 rupees ka SIM, 90 rupees ka recharge, pura mahina free. Aur raat ko to bilkul free. So especially with our children, when you talk to children, young age, youth, they're 24/7 online. So I was watching the audience when I was sitting there, and everybody was having that big white slate or something like that, touching and playing. Kaan mein bhi earphone laga hua hai. So the 24/7 online. So mobile penetration is going high. But if you look at the cybercrime incidences reported in the country, in 2008, 2,500 incidences were reported. This is as per the CERT report. By 2012, 22,060. So this is a growth rate as per the CERT report, and this relates to the incidences. The web infrastructure we are running on, every company today, I think all the management corporates, everybody sitting here, delegates, don't you have your own website? Yes or no? Is your website secured? I'm sorry I can't do a live demo here, otherwise they'll get me arrested by Indore police. I can open all your websites, all your data and all. But why? Because we have physical security in our offices. We spend a lot of money on that. We spend for CCTV, surveillance, security guards, in and out, cameras. But what about your online infrastructure? Have you spent a penny on its security? No. We buy a computer, Windows दहेज में मिलती है, pirated. Antivirus, home edition, download free. Right? And then we talk of threats and securities. If you look at the cybercrime reports, as per the police record, FIR, in 2009, only 420 FIRs were filed in the country. By 2012, it became 2,876. Working with Gurgaon police, last year we got 800 complaints, out of which I think 50 were converted into FIRs only. So there are many complaints. And the worst thing of this report is, this is a report from NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau of India. And that's why I have been more passionate talking to students, colleges, children, awareing them about cybersecurity and also training them. Because we need more cybersecurity force. We keep reading in the newspaper, DRDO systems were hacked by Chinese hackers. We read this in the newspaper. So we also need to have a cyber force in our country. But if you look at the statistics of NCRB, in 2011, 1,630 people were arrested doing cybercrime, out of which 883 were college-going students and 41 were school-going students. In 2012, 1,522 were arrested, out of which 928 were college-age and 65 were school-going age. Why is this happening? We're talking about youth. India is a youth country. Youth is the future of my country. As per the report, 70% of the youth is behind bars. What a bright future. Is it good? Yes or no? Why is this happening? Because there's something missing in your education curriculum also. Have you been ever taught about a word called netiquettes? Yes or no? Cyber hygiene. I have never found a person, or in my experience of 3,500 cases, that I have arrested or convicted a person who is above 40. उन्हें खुद हैकिंग कहाँ से आएगी? पहले WW सिखा दो उन्हें. वो बच्चों से सीखते हैं. So if you look at your own house, your child, 4th grade student, plays with an iPad and iPhone, grandfather can't. Or if a grandfather has a Facebook ID, वो उसके grandson ने खोली है. Am I right or wrong? So this report is not good. This report is not good. And that's why I think we really need to work the talk. We really need to work the talk of having cyber education for children as a compulsory subject. Like हम moral science तो सिखा रहे हैं सबको, real life सिखा रहे हैं बच्चों को. In real life, बाहर मत जाना, ऐसे मत करना, बड़ों की respect करना, और उनको वो जो खिलौना दिया है जिसपे वो एक virtual जिंदगी जीते हैं. I was very shocked in one of the schools in Delhi, taking a session, one of the big schools. A 6th grade student in the audience stood up in the balcony. I am an ethical hacker. 6th grade. मैं इधर उधर देख रहा हूँ, सीनियर्स चुपचाप बैठे थे. अच्छा, ये एक अच्छा मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है. 7 लाख बच्चों में आज की तारीख में 10th, 11th, 12th और ये कॉलेज, ये तो पिट चुके. इन्होंने तो सब देख लिया. जो उछल रहे हैं वो है 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. क्या उछल रहे हैं? मतलब मैंने I had to really say this in one of the students. He was taking some names of websites, very dangerous names. So do you know there is a website, fbhackedaccount.com. You can hack anybody's account. And sir, I'm an internet expert, but I'm sorry, I'll have to learn from you. And this was 6th grade student. So this is, I think, one of the key objectives here. And these are some clippings which will really scare you up. These are from the media. Recently, we arrested this 12th standard student for hacking 22 bank accounts and stealing 15 lakh rupees. 12th grade student. Another college student created a fake profile with very abusive content. Listen, how many students sitting there? All of students, I need your support on this. Tell me, how many of you have heard or gone through these kind of issues of defamation, stalking happening online on social media? So many hands. I was very shocked when I got mails from almost 50 to 70 schools and colleges. Sir, someone has created, what is it called? Confession page. Have you heard this? Yes or no? Is it good? Oh God. Facebook has become the church and somebody has become the father and everybody is confessing. And what kind of shit and crap are they writing on it? God knows. And it becomes a source of harassment and bully to that person. This 12th standard boy in Madurai was arrested for creating a fake profile of a teacher and abusing. 12th standard boy. In virtual life, 500 friends on Facebook. Real life, only 5 friends coming to your house. And wonderful names they have. Wonderful names, Rocket Rambo, Cool Boy, Sweet Girl, Angel. They don't even know whom they are talking to. Right? And if you look at the thin line of real and virtual life, all the girls, please look at me and say whether I am right or wrong. I saw this young girl putting a picture on Facebook, something like this. Wonderful picture. And she got a comment, you're looking so H-A-W-T-T-T-T-T and sexy. The best, and you think the best part was the answer of this girl. She liked it. She put 3 smileys and said, thank you. वो यू पे बटन दब गया. अच्छा, tell me, all the girls in the audience, if something like this happens to you in real life. So you're standing outside this auditorium and some Tom, Dick and Harry comes to you and say, you're looking so hot and sexy. Chappal दूंगी खींच के. Am I right or wrong? See, that's the thin line. That's the thin line I'm talking about. Where are your netiquettes and cyber hygiene? Why are we making our cyberspace bad? Why do I have to say to my son, don't go on this website? You are the creators of cyberspace, yaar. You are the creators. You have to put the content on it. And if you're putting bad content, your child will also see the bad content. So this is one issue. And if you look at now the economic figures, the global figures, and very interesting for all the corporates sitting here, India has lost $8 billion to cybercrime by 2012 Norton report. $8 billion. Recently, I got a case. I was on the way to Indore and I was having a Gurgaon police workshop day before I came here. I got a case from one of the exporters. This poor exporter his email was hacked. Actually, not hacked, it was sniffed. When I use the word sniff, that means the hacker is watching your mails. He's not touching anything. This hacker, he saw that this lady, the lady exporter, has sent a 40,000 euro bill to one of his clients in Italy. It was an attachment with the bank document. This guy, he immediately changed the email settings of this person, changed the email content, sent the same bill to the Italy buyer saying that, sorry for the last mail, I just came to know my bank account is frozen due to bank audit. So kindly transfer my 40,000 euro to my Barclay Bank London account. As there was no physical communication between the exporter and the buyer, he, with the online button, pressed 40,000 euros to a Barclay Bank. After 3 days, this lady comes to know that she's not received the payment. She called up. Where is my payment? Bole, I've sent. Bole, where? Bole, London. Bole, why? You sent me an email. Bole, I sent no mail. And now they're fighting. Now this exporter shows the mail. The mail was same, the display name was same, the spelling was wrong. My ID was rakshittandan@gmail.com. The hacker created rakshittandan@gmail.com. Instead of A, it was a O. But the display name was Rakshit Tandon. And what do we look when we check our inbox? Mail from IMA. Mail from Rakshit Tandon. Do we see the email address behind it? Yes or no? And this guy. And now the challenge for the police. Wonderful challenge. This lady comes to the police station. One of the inspector and constable is sitting there. We start investigating. The email was hacked from a country called Nigeria. Okay? The money went to London. Okay? Now, my officer is thinking, how do I go to Nigeria and London with my jeep and motorcycle? Will he be able to go there? The money is Indore case. I was here last couple of months. Chandan sir invited me for the CII conference, and there I met one person. He's a retired government person. He got an email that you have been selected for an IMA conclave or a conference in London. And they also created a website with papers and instruments. You have to submit your papers. And this 63-year-old person who had been attending a lot of conferences, writing a lot of journals and papers, replied back to that mail, and they showed him a fake website of a hotel, fake website of the conference, and took almost 1,80,000 rupees from this person on account of that attending that conference. So all these kind of scams and online hacking has resulted India to a loss of $8 billion. So defamation, stalking, phishing, mobile crimes are on the rise. Why? Lack of awareness. That's what my experience of 7 or 8 years in this domain of cybercrime and working with so many law enforcement agencies. So if you talk of this problem with the school students and college students, these are the three key issues. Microsoft recently did a survey. And the survey report told us that out of every 10, 5 students in my country, children in my country are cyberbullied. India came third. Number 1 was China, number 2 was Singapore, number 3 was India. Maximum school students are cyberbullied. And you know what are the problems? Stalking. Somebody hacked my profile and misusing it, posting bad pictures about me, embarrassment. And there's one new thing which has really made me worried is, which I've got almost 10 to 15 cases from all metro cities, I'm getting these cases. Young children, they tend to share very personal images with their friends. Have you heard this or not? And once this picture gets leaked and viral, it's a very big problem for the family, for the girl, and the resultant is suicide. A 14-year-old girl in Mumbai committed suicide when her personal pictures were leaked. And that personal pictures were leaked by her so-called boyfriend. पता नहीं सब क्या हो गया, बड़ा अच्छा लगता है आज पूरा टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया फर्स्ट पेज अमिताभ बच्चन जी के बारे में इतना अच्छा लगा पढ़ के, और राइट हैंड कॉर्नर पे एक खबर थी 15 साल की लड़की 23 साल का लड़का, बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं। हाँ, बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं। कोई कंपैरिजन है एज का? ऑनलाइन फ्रेंड्स हैं साहब। 15-year-old girl, 23, and this some of the glimpses here. This school girl was dumped by his 23-year-old boyfriend, committed suicide. 14-year, 23. Facebook friends. This again girl, personal pictures were leaked, committed suicide. This another college student was harassed and online Facebook, committed suicide. So all these cases are on the high rise, and I think the only issue is sensitization. Everybody thinks very smart when they come to internet. Why? Because they know two websites, google.com and facebook.com. That's all they know about internet. How does the technology work? I'll just take a question here and I'll see what's the answer to this. How many of you students, I'm asking only the students, or even the corporates can participate. All of you have a Facebook ID? Great. How many of you have your email and the Facebook password same? Raise your hands. Oh God. It's called virtual suicide. आत्महत्या कहते हैं इसको. When you open Facebook for the first time, English में site आती है, वहाँ पे लिखा होता है first name, last name, date of birth, sex, confirm your email address, और उसके नीचे English में लिखते हैं वो बेचारे new password, new, NEW. हमने वही दे दिया पुराना वाला. And then we come and say my ID was hacked. So I think you got my message. So we really need to get aware. Fake profiles, defamatory posts, and this is the new buzzword, sexting. We really need to caution our kids. Mobile, social media बहुत अच्छा लगता है सबको. Free है ना? SMS में तो पैसे लगते थे, इसमें लगते ही नहीं. WhatsApp, WeChat. That day I was doing some reverse engineering on one of these sites. उनका एक का server मिला मुझे चाइना में. Wow. And China and India are very good cousin brothers. So, sexting, identity hijacking, bullying. And if you look at the law is strong. We do have a cyber law which was created in 2000, amended in 2008, which says you can't publish anything which is obscene. You do that, you're punished. Anything which contains sex or pornography, you're punished. Any offensive message, you are punished. Child pornography, very strict. 10 lakh rupees fine, 7 years of jail. Hacking is an offense. So when this young kid said, I am an ethical hacker, I said, what did you do? मैंने अपनी ये क्लासमेट की आईडी हैक करी थी और उससे गंदी सी मेल भेजी थी उसके फ्रेंड्स को. He's innocent, 6th grade. He was fascinated by the word hacking. I'm not promoting the word hacking, I'm promoting the word security. I want people to learn internet security. I want organizations to get their backbone strong, because today your 10% work is online. Tomorrow, the moment cloud starts, your everything will be online. Right from your accounts to your payrolls, everything would be on a cloud. And what is that security of the site? You look at hacking going on, mobile security. Listen, this is a wonderful example of mobile. I was installing this app on my Android phone. It said, I want to modify and delete all your USB drive. I want to read all your SMS. I want to access your Bluetooth location and all that stuff. I want to access your password. And you know what do we say on this? I accept. We accept all these settings. The ironical part is that in India, the banks are sending you OTPs, one-time passwords on your mobiles, SMS. And who are reading those SMS? Talking Tom. Talking Tom? Have you heard this word, Talking Tom? And it's a wonderful app. Oh, come on, it's a wonderful app. You have given permission to that third-party application to read all your content on your phone. What is the security on your phone? And this was a recent news that there was a game called Balloon Pop which was stealing all your WhatsApp chat and the public domain. Government of United States Federal Trade Commission recently banned this very popular application called Flashlight. A phone gets converted into a torch free of cost. What was it doing? It was leaking all your locations. And coming on to smartphones, if you look at this, there are three very popular phones: Android, Apple, and BlackBerry. How many of you have an Android here? Most of them are Androids. iPhones? Okay. BlackBerry? Oh, great. Now look at this. When you go to the Android camera settings, you have this wonderful word written there, geotag. It is on or off, it depends on you. Location services on camera is on or off, depends on you. And geotagging on BlackBerry, on or off. Yesterday when Amitabh ji was sitting and I was on the front row, I just clicked this picture with my iPhone. There was no internet, there was no range coming in this place for internet 3G. I took it to my computer, pressed the right button, I got the latitude, longitude and altitude. After that, I just copy-pasted these three informations on the so-called Google map. And the best part was, I could see the location. Now, the wonderful part is, for all young girls, you click a picture like this in front of the mirror, right? अब तो उसको हम लोगों ने डिक्शनरी में भी घुसवा दिया चेम्बर्स से, सेल्फी बोलते हैं, सेल्फी. हाँ, अब तो ऑक्सफोर्ड में भी आ गया ये वर्ड. So you click a selfie like this and put it as your WhatsApp profile picture. You have given your location of the mirror. Where is the mirror usually? Restrooms. Washroom का एड्रेस दे दिया हमने. कहाँ पे? Google map पे. Tell me, is it safe? Achha, how many of you guys already knew this option and were safe about it? Let me see the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. Oh my God. So that tells how aware we are about the digital threats. We buy an iPhone, it comes in a beautiful box. BlackBerry, beautiful box. वो बेचारे उसके साथ एक किताब भी देते हैं 15 लैंग्वेजेस में. कोई तो आती होगी. हाँ, वो आती है किताब, मैनुअल कहते हैं उसको. Nobody goes through it. So thanks to the technology, and if you could see this picture giving your location, this is a threat. Talking about hacking, in brief, DRDO was hacked. RPG group lost 2.4 crore rupees in 3 hours by a hacking attack. 2.4 crores in 3 hours. The CBI website was hacked and it was written Pakistan Jindabad. CBI.gov.in, 4th of December. And so what I'm trying to tell you here is that don't just behave like a person who just calls up a computer guy and say, okay, do my website. Don't do that now. You can't do that. When the website of CBI can be compromised, think about your corporate sites, how safe they are. I got a college, there are so many management colleges sitting here. I'm not taking names. One of the directors of the college called me up and filed a complaint. Somebody hacked into the website, not only defaced it, but got into the database of the student. And there they modified the attendance and the caution money. The gang was arrested and this boy who was arrested was a so-called ethical hacker. And he said that the students gave me 2,000 rupees to do it. So if I modify the attendance, I will get whole of my caution money back. So the website of the server of this company was compromised. And this case which I just now told you, I'll just mention one more case. It's of social engineering. Please have to be very careful with this. A professor, a lady professor, sitting in her college, taking a class, suddenly on her phones it comes, SIM unregistered. SIM unregistered. Registration failed. She takes out the SIM, wipes it, put it back, nothing happens. 5 o'clock, she finishes a lecture. She goes to the mobile company. The company says, your SIM is faulty. Come again tomorrow morning, we'll give you a new SIM card. Okay. She go home. Next day she comes, she get a new SIM card. They say, after 2 hours, it will be activated. The moment she puts in the handset, after 2 hours, she gets SMS from the bank that 1,77,000 has been swiped off. 22 rupees 20 paisa is the balance. वो रिक्शे के लिए छोड़ दिया. अब सुनिए, हमने इन्वेस्टिगेट किया, पकड़ के भी ले आए. एक दिल्ली पुलिस के वहां से भागा हुआ था, but he was arrested in UP. When this young guy was arrested, हमने उससे पुलिस के तरीके से पूछताछ करी, तो हमें उसका मोडस ऑपरेंडी पता चला. बोला साहब मेरे को मैडम की एक स्लिप मिली थी डस्टबिन में एटीएम के। कहानी कहां से शुरू हुई? द स्लिप विच यू लेफ्ट इन द एटीएम विच कैरीज योर अकाउंट नंबर एंड कार्ड नंबर। Number two, from that account number, I got to know the name and the bank branch. From there, I went to a very popular site called Facebook.com. There I saw madam's picture and also on the timeline, Happy Mother's Day, my mom Rukmani Devi, with a photograph. Okay. Then I got the date of birth. This guy went to a very popular portal of Government of India, which is called incometaxindia.gov.in. There is a service called Know Your PAN. There are only two options they ask: date of birth and last name. They give you the PAN number. This guy got the PAN number. He designed a wonderful PAN card in Photoshop. And then he wrote a simple application. थाना महोदय, मेरा सिम खो गया है। और एक छोटी सी चौकी में चला गया, वहां एक कांस्टेबल भैया बैठे थे, उन्होंने ठप्पा लगा दिया उस पर। Any police officer sitting here, please? Any police officer? I'm right, sir. Am I right? So when my phone is lost, I simply write an application. That's the only formality. With that piece of paper and the PAN card, he got the SIM issued. When he got the SIM issued, he called the mobile banking. A banks only asked me 3 questions: mother's name, address, and date of birth. मदर्स नेम हम कभी झूठ नहीं बोलते ना, गलत बात है। माँ का नाम सच्चा बताते हैं। कितना बड़ा सीक्रेट क्वेश्चन है। He got the mother name, he got this, and he got the T-pin generated for his account. And after that, the account was empty. A wonderful case of social engineering. Now, what does this sensitize you with? Posting personal information can be very dangerous. I still remember a very funny case, young husband, wife, very rich, very nice, well-to-do. Uncle standing on his Audi A7 clicking a picture. Auntie having a cover photo with 3-door refrigerator like this. And writing a wonderful status, वैष्णो देवी जा रहे हैं, जय माता दी। अच्छा, और उनके फ्रेंड्स भी बहुत, they had almost 5,000 friends. और उसके बाद and एक कमेंट्स आते हैं ना, जय माता दी, have a safe trip. When are you coming? 18 को, अकेले नहीं, पूरे परिवार के साथ। On open social media, the next day breaking news of दैनिक जागरण was पूरा घर खाली, पड़ोसियों ने दरवाजा खुला देखा तो पुलिस को सूचना दी, जय माता दी। Now tell me, so what you have to put publish on a private domain and public domain has to be really reserved. Social media is a wonderful tool, and the best example, nothing to quote, is Delhi's chief minister. I think he is because of social media, am I right? Power of social media. Why do we go to the negative side? Why do we go to confession pages? Why do we abuse our girlfriend? तुम्हारी girlfriend status क्यों डाल रहे हो? Committed to. पब्लिक को दिखा रहे हैं कमिटेड टू, और जब ब्रेकअप होता है तो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड। तुम लोगों के स्टेटस तो ऐसे चेंज होते हैं जैसे हम लोग कपड़े बदलते हैं दिन में। गलत है ये, और उसके नतीजे ही ये हैं, साइबर स्टॉकिंग। कमिंग ऑन टू द बैंकिंग पार्ट, प्लीज यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल विद द हैकर्स। आई एम गिविंग यू अ वेरी सिंपल स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ अ Gmail account. How many of you have a Gmail account here? Great. On Gmail, on your last line, there is written last account activity. You come to know from where your account was accessed and at what time. So when I checked it, it was showing 1.5 ago, you were in Netherlands. I was not in Netherlands, मैं तो इंदौर में हूँ. How can my account be accessed from Netherlands? So that means there is something fishy. There is something called settings. In your settings, there is something called filter and forwarder. So whenever the hacker compromises your account, the first thing he'll do is he will modify the filter. And the second thing, he will create a forwarder. So whatever mails are coming to you, one copy will go to the hacker. So be very careful with your mail account settings. Don't keep default passwords. 90% of your passwords are welcome 123, admin 123, mobile numbers, बीबी का नाम, बच्चों का नाम, इससे ऊपर निकलिए। और आंटियां जितनी होती ना, आंटियों के पासवर्ड तो सबसे आसान है हैक करना, बच्चों के नाम, मेरी बेबी, जो बच्चे होते हैं ना छोटे छोटे, उनके नाम, all the passwords, and then they say my account is hacked. Phishing is a new mode of crime which is happening. It's very easy to be done. The hacker will call you and ask you to see at the back of your bank card. They will show you a number printed, and then this hacker will call you from the same number. This is called phishing. A lot of cases recently have been reported where this poor guy took out money from the ATM, अपने स्कूटर तक आया, इसके पास फोन आता है, मैं रितु बोल रही हूँ ICICI से, आपने अभी अभी फलाने चौराहे से 2000 रुपए निकाले? बोले हाँ। बोले हम बैंक से बोल रहे हैं, ये आपका अकाउंट लॉक हो जाएगा, फ्रीज हो जाएगा, कंप्यूटर में प्रॉब्लम आ गई है, आप अपना आईडी और पासवर्ड बताइए। बोले मैं आपको क्यों बताऊं? बोले आप जेब में से कार्ड निकालिए, कार्ड के पीछे देखिए क्या नंबर छपा है, अपनी स्क्रीन पे देखिए क्या नंबर आ रहा है। हम बैंक से बोल रहे हैं भाई। अच्छा तो ठीक है, ले लो। उन्होंने अपना आईडी और पासवर्ड दे दिया। जब तक वो ड्राइव करके घर आए, SMS आए बैंक खाली। इन्वेस्टिगेट किया तो पता चला आदमी कहाँ का है, गुड़गांव का, और शॉपिंग कहाँ हुई, कैलकाटा में। bookmyshow.com से PVR के धूम 3 के 80,000 के टिकट बुक हो गए ऑनलाइन। अब the challenge again for that Haryana police officer to go to Chennai and Calcutta to investigate the case and find that 80,000 rupees. और पिक्चर किस किसने देखी, वो कभी नहीं जाएगा। So this is what is happening, and especially if you come back to the cards. Last thing I like to share, I just recently busted this very serious case. एक हैकर घुसता है ATM के अंदर, ATM के मुंह के ऊपर एक छोटा सा मुंह और लगा देता है, इट इज कॉल्ड स्किमर। ATM के मुंह के ऊपर एक अलग से मुंह लगा देता है, बबल गम खाता है, और उसके बाद एक वायरलेस कैमरा स्क्रीन के ऊपर लगा देता है, छोटा सा वायरलेस कैमरा। इस स्किमर में आपका कार्ड रिकॉर्ड हो जाता है और कैमरे से आपका पिन चला जाता है। हमारे पास 18 कंप्लेंट्स एक हफ्ते के अंदर, जहां 18 लाख रुपए निकल गए by skimming your cards. You have to be very careful at the ATMs. One has to always cover the hands and enter the pin. Don't leave the slip. How many of you are still using the same pin which was sent to you by the bank for the first time? Same pin. Even the students. Oh my God. मालूम है आपको वो पिन कौन बनाता है? Who makes that pin for you? Anybody? मैं बता रहा हूं, उस शिरडी में बैठे कोई साईं बाबा, वो ऐसे करते हैं, सबकी पिन घर आ जाती है। A human being is creating the pin for you and you're not changing that pin. They're giving it in writing. The bank that slip, change your pin and tear this. Using the same pin. These are the challenges, and I think ATM cards and cloning is becoming a big mess. So we have to be very careful when you use your card. Thanks to RBI, from 1st December it has been made compulsory that whenever you swipe a debit card, they will ask your pin. Am I right? Sorry to say that, in your own city, Indore, 7th December, my flight got cancelled in the morning when I was returning from the CII conference. So I took another ticket from another flight from the airport, Indore airport. I gave my debit card to that lady standing behind the counter. She swiped it and 2 slips came out. I asked, when did you ask the PIN? वो अभी upgrade नहीं हुआ है. मुबारक हो. So this will happen. This will keep on happening. Wi-Fi as another last threat which I'd like to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. You all have Wi-Fis, and there are lots of Wi-Fis which can be misused just because of lack of security. You should have a very strong encryption on your Wi-Fi. Recently, you must have heard there was a bomb attack by the terrorists. And after doing that attack, the terrorists sent a terror email to all the media and police guys. The police agency started investigating the email, and you know where they reached? They reached to one of the young couples staying in Goregaon, 3rd floor. Their Wi-Fi was compromised and the hackers used it. So you can be a threat to the country also. If your Wi-Fi, whether it's a hotel, office, residence, if you're using a Wi-Fi network, your routers should be secured. And this is what happened. This mail which was sent was hacked from a Goregaon connection. And last, the most important information I like to give is for identity theft. A lot of identity theft is happening in the country. Be very careful whenever you give your documents to any third-party organization for any verification. Just cross it, write the reason, sign and put your date and then give it. So whether I'm buying a bank account, I'm opening an account, I'm giving a loan, I'm taking a loan, I'm buying a SIM card, they always ask you for some crucial documents like PAN card. This hotel, when I checked in, they asked my PAN card. I just crossed that paper and I wrote, given to the hotel for my verification, put the date, sign it, and then give my 50 paisa photocopy to them. Am I clear on that? So thank you so much for inviting me and listening to me so patiently. I know I was out of the topic, and please don't say that I've made you scared or something. I'm not promoting that you should not use technology, but I'm trying to only give you a word that yes, cybersecurity is very important for our country. And thanks again once for inviting me and giving me such a warm welcome. And special thanks to this young team, Srajna, who'd been so kind with me. I was feeling like a VIP the moment I entered the airport. There was someone to welcome me with a bouquet, and I was so surprised. Never happens with me. So thank you so much for this warm welcome and hospitality. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
We had a couple of very interesting speakers in this session. Both of them, I think, told us how we should work the talk. We now have a few questions for Mr. Rakshit Tandon. The first one is, how do you suggest that we cyber protect our young school-going children?
See, sensitization programs are very important for children from day to day. They should have in their ICT, that is the computer subject, they should have one right from nursery, I would say now. Previously, I used to say 4th grade onwards, but no, from nursery, they should be taught cybernetiquettes and hygiene as a compulsory subject. And parents should also play a very responsible role, not ignorant. There are some games which the children are playing at a very young age, which are very violent games. They only promote violence, and they really change the mindset of the child. So parents should not be ignorant that, okay, on my birthday, you're gifting me a game, which the parent even doesn't know what is the content of that game. So I think parents also have to play, and educators and parents both have to play a very major role on this.
Another question for you. What are the reasons why Japan lost only $500 million in 2012 to consumer cybercrime as compared to $21 billion in the US? I don't know if these numbers are right, but these are the
These
numbers
are from the Norton.
Mr. Mishra.
This is from the Norton Cybercrime Report. US has been the base target for economic frauds, and right from the beginning, what US and Europe has seen is now coming to India. Because we have a massive penetration of internet users, and we look at the e-commerce industry in India, it's growing. So I think Japan must have got a cybersecurity. See, we have to be proactive. That's what I'm saying always. Our government has to be proactive. We're not proactive. We react only when we get a slap on our face. So we can't do that with cybersecurity. We really have to have a proactive policy for organizations. We're just writing it on the piece of paper on law, and then you ask the companies to comply in security audit. Sorry. I know a lot of security audit companies, they just call me up and say, just pay me 30,000 and I'll give you an ISO 9000 certification. Now that's stupid. But what's the point of having such an ISO 9000 certification? So maybe Japan must have got a strong backbone. I'm not aware of Japan's cybersecurity, but yes, US I know. US has been always on the front domain of cybercrimes, and US, Europe, and now our country.
The last question for Mr. Tandon. You have given several examples for individual internet security. Please give us some tips for corporate security. How do we take care when a large amount of data and a lot of different individuals are involved?
See, the first thing is there are two aspects of this. One is network security, and the second is web application security. So the internal infrastructure or the ERP software you are running, that needs to be tested. The server admin controls have to be very strong. Don't just compromise on freeware softwares. You should have hardware firewalls in your organization. You should have a proxy server where you know what is happening in your organization. Organization should have the control where what my user is doing on the computer and what kind of information, because a lot of data theft cases have recently come us from corporates, and the reason was that they don't have a proper IT infrastructure. So they have to take their IT department very seriously. That is for the network. And second, when you come onto the web, just don't trust the developer who is writing the website for you, because that developer is not cybersecurity trained. He is a traditional programmer. Now, there is an extra skill set required. So we have penetration testers in our country. These penetration testers, even my organization, we do a lot of corporate testing, where we test the website and tell the corporate that, see, these are the loopholes in your site, get it patched. We tell the coding also, that is, we'll tell your developer, this is the coding need to be amended so that your web infrastructure is secured. So anybody who's getting into e-commerce or having a dynamic site, they need to get their web server tested.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
to all the audience for the great questions, and thanks to all the speakers for answering them so patiently. And before I hand over to the organizers, let me once again thank IMA for inviting me to be part of this. Thank you.
I'll now call upon Mr. Saurabh Kalani, Managing Director of Flexituf, to kindly come upon the stage and present the IMA memento to Mr. Rakshit Tandon. Mr. Saurabh Kalani, please.